tell me, yeah, I'm declaring I've covered a lot of the protests, but from the Palestinian point of view. So I've covered most of the Palestinian protests. It's important I show the other side of the coin, yeah. So tell me from your perspective why you're down here today.
Well, it's interesting that you covered it from the Palestinian point of view, and I'll tell you why. Because there is a difference between the two points of view. One's based on truth and history, and the other one is fiction and fraud and lies. So I think that you should change your terminology. You didn't cover it from the Palestinian point of view. You covered it from the Palestinian Arab point of view, because they don't own the word Palestinian. There are Palestinian Jews like my family. So there has never, you need to put that underlying in your information, there has never ever been, in the history of time, an Arab Palestine. There's been a Palestine, which is a renaming of Israel, but that was never an Arab Palestine. So when people like to show coins and stamps and flags and things of Palestine, they always miss out the fact that it has an Aleph Yud, which is Eretz Israel. It was actually a Jewish Palestine. Certainly wasn't an Arab Palestine. So on that basis, you are not really covering the Palestinian point of view. You may be covering the Palestinian Arab point of view, but actually none of them are actually Palestinian. In fact, I would say that even famously Ismail Haniyeh, who was finally eliminated this week, is Egyptian. And if you look at Palestinian Arabs and their names, you'll find out that their surnames, like al-Baghdadi is from Iraq and al-Mazri is Egyptian. They are not Palestinian Arabs from that part of the land. So if they want to claim an area of Palestine that is theirs, that may well be true. That will be Jordan, which is where the majority are from and are living. So, you know, Jordana, Palestina, which was the area all around, was also to the east of the Jordan River. So that is really where Palestinians come from. It doesn't say that there weren't people from different religions that lived in that land, but I think you have to understand a little bit of truth when you cover it. As an example, there are 150,000 Arabs that lived in that land when Israel declared independence in 1948. There were others that weren't exiled by Israel. They left because they were forced to leave or instructed to leave by Nasser and the surrounding armies from Egypt and others because they were going to commit genocide against the Jews, and they just failed. The ones that remained are Arab Israelis, and today they are 2.5 million Arab Israelis that live with the Jews and have, there's absolutely no apartheid. I mean, they serve in the army, serve in the police, serve in the courts, and they even fight in the IDF. So that's really interesting, that narrative. When you look at the 950,000 Jews that lived in Arab lands, they are virtually zero. So that's where ethnic cleansing took place, and that's where apartheid took place, and that's where apartheid still takes place.
So if I can come from my ignorant point of view, let's agree on that, yeah.
No,
Should
I tell you something?
No, I didn't interrupt you.
I did interrupt. Word. You're not ignorant, you're curious, and that's good. And that's good.
Listen, I'm from the street, yeah, I'm from the street, and I don't pretend I don't pretend I'm not. But can you do
children more than they hate ours? That will be the end game. But I will say this, end game is very hard, because their end game is different. To make it very clear, this is not about land. And this is not about religion. This is only about one single word, ideology. And the ideology, the overarching ideology, is the establishment of a caliphate. Israel is just part one in a Middle East, of which we are 0.2% amongst 47 or 49 Arab countries. But that's only step one of the global caliphate. Step two, this is their end game, this is why you asked the question. Step two of the global caliphate is absolutely without question Europe. They discovered long ago that there's two ways to conquer the world. One way is by war, and the other way is to buy it. And they have been buying it. They own 25% of British Airways and 25% of Sainsbury's. They've been putting money through our universities, putting their own professors onto campuses. The end game there is the establishment of a caliphate. The amazing part of that is that the people that are liberal-minded should be absolutely standing right here, right now, with us, not with them.
Anyway, sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. You know, I don't take sides, but it's important for people like me to come out and engage with everyone. And that's what I'm doing today, but thank you very much, sir.
Would you like our end game?
Go on.
Our end game is that they wake up from the dream that they're in of establishing a caliphate, actually look at all humans as equal, like Jews do, and not look at the rest of the world as the infidel, but actually just as humankind. And when Israel and Israelis say we wanted Gaza to become Singapore, we mean it. We want them to thrive and prosper. We want them to educate. We want them to use truth and give themselves a better life, instead of just directing their entire life to the death of Israel and the death of Jews. Our end game is peace. It's always been peace. Israel's always given land for peace, whether it was the Sinai and whether it was anywhere else. So that's our end game. And the vital part of that is the West and media waking up. As soon as you take the oxygen away from their fraud and their genocide and their lies against Jews, you take the oxygen, which is information and media, that will lead to an end game. So I hope, whether it's God willing or Allah willing, I'm not a religious man, that they wake up.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.